Hey guys, welcome back to Trivia Tuesday. We're Cells to Cell. My name is Haim and this is Nick. And we have a 45 question quiz, which we're not going to do all of them today. We're actually going to be splitting this up into 3 episodes. So part 1, we're just going to do 15 questions and let's get it going. So Nick, question 1. A somatic cell contains A, half the number of chromosomes coming from one parent, or a complete set of chromosomes coming from both parents?
You go with B, a complete set.
Complete set. Let's see if that's right. That's right.
Boom.
Okay.
Simple genetics.
Simple genetics.
All right. Question number 2. Stem cells can be obtained from A, embryos, B, some adult tissues, B, umbilical cord blood, or D, all of the above.
All of the above.
I would go with all of the above as well.
That's true. So embryos, obviously, some adult tissues. I like how they said some adult tissues because
Yes.
that's very good. And umbilical cord blood, of course.
Perfect. All right.
Question number 3. What does pluripotent mean? Able to divide and make make many different types of cells. Not able to divide. Can only divide and make one cell type. Or if it divides, it will make a cancerous tumor.
A.
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 Yeah, that's...
It can divide into multiple cell types.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
Show answers was at the bottom if you click on that. Here.
Yeah, that's true.
What? You click on this and then show answer. Boom.
Okay, I guess we can do that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Question number 4. What do stem cells have to do with clones? A, stem cells can divide and differentiate and grow into a clone. B, clones can be grown from stem cells. C, both choices are correct. Or D, none of these choices are correct.
I think clones can be grown from stem cells. I don't know if stem cells can divide and differentiate into a clone. I don't know. That's a little weirdly worded.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say that clones can be grown from stem cells because that's more straight to the point. Makes sense in my brain.
All right. I'm going to show you the answer. I don't think that's it, but you might be right.
Oh,
Yeah.
both are
so
correct.
both choices are correct. So it's almost like I think of stem cells can divide and differentiate and grow into a clone. I think of what it was, a Dolly the sheep, where they made the sheep clone by literally putting the full complement of DNA into an embryo, and that embryo is stem cell or has stem cells that can differentiate, and then clones can be grown from stem cells as well.
Okay.
Right. So that's kind of how I thought of it.
Sure.
So that's okay.
Question 5. Oh my God, you always get these IPS questions. Okay. What are IPS cells and what do they mean to stem cell research? Induced purpose stem cells mean embryo cells were made into adult-like cells. Induced purpose stem cells mean adult stem cells were reversed to baby cells. Induced pluripotent stem cells mean adult cells were made into embryo-like cells. Or induced pluripotent stem cells means cells were totipotent and now are pluripotent.
I'm gonna go with C.
And I think that's right. Yeah, induced pluripotent stem cells means they were turned into embryo. So you take an adult, kind of make it into an embryo.
Yeah.
By inducing them.
Usually they take skin cells, which I think is super cool, and they drive them all the way back to an embryonic state, and then you can differentiate them, which won the Nobel Prize.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact. All right. What is the difference between embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells? A, embryonic stem cells can differentiate into more cell types than adult stem cells. B, adult stem cells are pluripotent, just like embryonic stem cells. C, adult stem cells can differentiate into more cell types than embryonic stem cells. Or D, adult stem cells can grow bigger than embryonic stem cells. This is pretty straightforward.
A, embryonic stem cells are also pluripotent, meaning that they can differentiate into plural, many different things. Whereas adult stem cells are pretty much stuck in their lineage and they can't really differentiate into multiple cell types.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, here we go. So number 7. iPS stem cells are derived from embryonic stem cells, IVF embryos, blastocytes, or adult somatic cells?
I'm gonna go with D.
Adult somatic
Yeah.
cells, that's correct. Because IPS are induced pluripotent, meaning they're normal cells induce them, so adult stem cells.
Yes. All right. Which stem cells have the most potency? Is it A, multipotent, B, pluripotent, C, totipotent, or D, unipotent?
C, totipotent. Even though pluripotent and multipotent are very potent, they have potency, but totipotent means everything, even including sex germlines.
Yep, and that is correct. That is correct. Yeah, understanding, kind of the hierarchy of what kind of stem cells can do what is kind of important coming into this because, not every, let's say, like MSC or HSC can be made into any cell, but totipotent cells, such as found in the embryo, can be.
So it goes toti,
Pluri, multi, uni.
uni. Okay. Adult stem cells can also be referred to as somatic stem cells, embryonic stem cells, starter cells, or IPS cells.
I'm gonna go with A, somatic stem cells.
Somatic stem cells, true. Somatic meaning just body cell, also means adult cell. They both refer to potency.
All right, Heem, true or false? Scientists can reprogram skin cells to act like stem cells.
True.
True.
IPS.
That's IPS.
Induced pluripotent ones.
Perfect.
Hide the answers first.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't
Boom. Okay.
show myself the answer.
Neural stem cells from the brain can differentiate into which types of cell? Interesting. Only specialized brain cells, and specialized skin cells, all types of specialized cells, or only specialized blood cells?
I'm gonna go with A.
Only specialized brain cells? That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and that goes back to the unipotent stem cells where, cells will get so far down their lineage, there's kind of no turning back. So they can only turn into one type of cell, making them unipotent.
Yes. So neural stem cells will turn into neurons.
Yes. All right, question number 12, we're flying through this. All right, stem cells are defined as A cell that has the ability to divide only once and stay the same as other kinds of cells. B, a cell that has the ability to continuously divide and differentiate into various other kinds of cells and tissues. C, any cell of a living organism other than the reproductive cells. Or D, a cell that contains a nucleus surrounded by a membrane and whose DNA is bound together by proteins.
Okay. I'm going to say the one that says it divides continuously and can differentiate into various kinds of cells.
Yep, that's
Yes.
correct. I agree with that. B is correct.
Stem cells do something called, I don't remember exactly, but it's called obligate differentiation, meaning a stem cell will differentiate into two things. It stays its stem cell and it goes into a progenitor, and that progenitor can turn into another cell. So they proliferate and they also turn into other stuff. 13. What process best explains how muscle cells and nerve cells can develop from the same fertilized egg? Interesting question. Genetic engineering, survival of the fittest, differentiation, selective breeding.
I'm going to go with differentiation.
So that's a pretty key word used in regenerative medicine, especially in stem cells. So that's correct.
Yeah.
So muscle cells and nerve cells, even though they come from the same baby little egg, since we're all from one cell, how can we turn into this entire human that has all these different tissues and organs with different purposes? That's because throughout development, you differentiate into different lineages.
All right. Which best explains why muscle cells are different from blood cells? A, muscle cells are produced by the brain, but blood cells are produced by the heart. B, different genes are activated in muscle cells than in blood cells. C, muscle cells experience different environmental influences than blood cells. Or D, a mutation occurs during development of muscle cells, but not in blood cells.
So this is actually a trick question between B and C, because blood cells actually don't have a nucleus, so that means they don't have genes
Right.
that would be activated. So I'm gonna go with C. So they experience different environmental influences, so that differentiates them into. Oh
It's
no, it's B.
I think you're thinking about red blood cells when I think that they're talking more along like the lines of HSCs
Oh,
and MSCs. So
blood cells in general.
yeah, so different genes and having different things and proteins turned on will very much so affect the internal and external environment of a cell. And I think that's kind of what they were going for, but that was kind of a tricky question. So
Yeah, they didn't specify red blood cells. They just said blood cells.
all right, last question.
Okay, which of the following terms describes the egg? Oocyte, zygote, blastocyte, somatic.
Oh my.
Describes the egg.
I didn't take developmental biology and I should have. Okay, well, I'm between A and B. Oocyte and zygote.
The egg.
I'm gonna go with the egg.
The egg.
Then it's A.
Oocyte?
Yeah.
I would have to agree. Because zygote
Is sperm and egg.
Oocyte is correct.
So, all right.
Just like that, 15 questions are done.
Knocked out.
That quiz wasn't too bad.
No, it still made us think, got our gears turning a little bit, but it's always good to go back to kind of the basics because you get so intertwined and so many details and having so much things you kind of caught up in where, sometimes backtracking and going back to the simpler stuff, might help you find an answer further down the line than you think. So just going back and refreshing our memory and hopefully teaching some people and, viewers who might have heard some of these questions already or people who are new and might be the first Trivia Tuesday they see, it's good to kind of go back and just review a little bit. So, all right, you got anything else? All right, well, I think we'll wind up doing the next 15 next Tuesday for Trivia Tuesday. So thank you for watching. I'm Nick, that's Heem, and thanks for watching Cells to Cell. See you guys.
See ya.